Okay, there is a topic called character handling in COBOL. Okay,
Oh,
now character handling is playing with the strings. Sometimes what happens is in input file, we get some strings or get some values, and we need to change some values with something else. For example, here if you see, I have taken a variable WSA, picture clause x of 12, value Samir Ahmed. Now what my
oh,
requirement is, from this name, wherever there is A, I need to replace that alphabet with O. I need to replace A with O.
oh,
So I have written inspect WSA, replacing all A by O.
oh,
It's very easy. Okay. Very easy to
yeah,
remember also, just English language. So inspect means check
uh,
WSA,
uh,
replacing all A by O. So in this name, wherever there is a O, there is an A will be changed by O, will be replaced by O.
oh,
So it's a real time thing. Like in real time, for example, you will get one input file. In the input file, suppose there is a field where some amount you are getting. Now, for some reason, the client is not able to generate the decimal. Okay, so they tell us that when we send a value like this 100 comma 10, it means actually 100.10.
uh,
We can't generate the decimal in our system, so we send commas. So in the input field,
uh,
if we see any comma, we have to consider that to be decimal. Now that comma has to be changed to decimal. So we'll read the input file and we'll read the field and we'll inspect the field and we'll replace all the commas by full stops. When we replace all the commas by full stops, the value from the input field will be changed from this to this. So when it is
uh,
changed, we can use it later on in the program as a proper numeric field because comma will not be supported in our database. So the decimal field, suppose the database field amount field is defined as pack decimal. Okay, so will need a full stop, we need a dot. So we have to change it. It's a real time example.
oh,
We'll try to compile this program and we'll try to execute it. Mm, the value of WC, see, it was Samir Ahmed, right?
I'll
So
replace it.
A's have been changed with O. Next example. Here I've taken a variable WSA. It has same name, Samir Ahmed. Now I want to find out how many A's are present in this name, how many R's are present, how many spaces are present. All these kind of details I want to find out. Okay, in this name, how many A's are
Uh,
present, how many R's are present, how many spaces are present. So I've taken three variables, WSB, WSC, and WSD. I have initialized all three of them, B, C, and D. Now inspect WSA, telling WSB for all A. Okay. Inspect
oh,
WSA, telling WSB for all A. Then we check WSA, find how many A's are present, and please write the count in WSB. Inspect WSA, telling WSC for all R. Inspect WSA, telling WSD for all spaces. Okay.
oh,
So check WSA and see how many A's are present and write the count in WSB variable. Check WSA, see how many R's are present and write the count in WSC variable. Check WSA, see how many spaces are present and write the count in WSD variable. Now finally I'm displaying all three of them. So let's see how it works. 4. See, number of A equal to 03, number of R 01, number of spaces 01.
Ah,
There are 3 A's. Here 1, here 1, here 1, 3. R, there is only 1 R, and space, there is only 1 space. Okay. This is another
ah,
example. I have taken a variable WSA. The name is Naresh Barik. Naresh Barik. Hmm?
ah.
Then inspect WSA, replacing all R by M before I after A. So
Mm.
can you
Okay.
read and try to understand what this means?
Only replace that last R.
Hmm. There's a condition that replace all R by M, but which R's? The R's which are present before I and after A. So before I, after A, there is only one R present. There is another R which is present before E and after A.
Ah, yes.
So this R will not be changed, only this R will be changed. So this is a condition. The R which is present before I and after A, that R only will be changed.
Okay.
Okay, so you can practice that. And this is a very important example. Now, in general, in mainframe, we have two types of files. One is called CCV file, one is CSV file. Okay. Now CCV file is a file which is a flat data structure. Flat data structure as in
Sir.
so suppose mm, first 10 characters is name suppose. So money 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Salary suppose 6 characters, 5 characters. Then suppose some address. Address is 10 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then suppose some pin code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. So this is called CCV file structure. So the data will look like this. This file has a definite file structure. Every file has a file structure, but how the client will send the data. This is called CCV. It's a fixed format. If the file structure is such that the first 10 characters of the file will always be the employee names. So the client will write the employee names, and if the employee name is less than 10 characters, remaining fields he'll fill with spaces to make it 10 characters. Then salary 5 characters, then address 10 characters. So address here is 7. So remaining 3 spaces to make it 10. Then some pin code. So like this, each record will look like this. This is one type of file.
Ah,
There will be another type of file where there will be the client will not maintain in spaces. Wherever the value ends, he will give some delimiter, suppose semicolon. Wherever any field ends, he will give some semicolon. So it will look like this kind of data. Okay.
okay.
Here,
Which one is CC?
this is called CSV, comma separated
Okay.
value.
Okay.
And this is called CCV, fixed format. Okay, I forgot the full form of CCV. So the client might send a file in this format or in this format. It totally depends on them. It is easier for them to
Okay.
generate a file in Excel sheet. They will just write the values in separate columns, and they'll concatenate all of them separated by semicolon or any special character. And they also can generate this one, but they have to be very careful while generating because they should give proper spaces so that the layout is perfect. Otherwise, because our program is not going to evaluate which field is what, it will directly read this kind of file and it will process. It will
Okay.
take the first 10 characters as the names and it will process. Even though if the file structure is wrong, if the name field comes in the first name characters, then it will take take the wrong data and it will try to process. So it might fail in this case. So it is little difficult for them to generate. Like they have to be careful, but this is easier. Now it totally depends on them which type of file they want to send. Now if they say that we will send a file in fixed format, then it is fine for us. We don't have to do any kind of extra thing in our programs. We can directly read this file and we can process. But if they say that we'll send a file in this format, comma separated, then what we have to do is we have to convert this file into this file. This comma separate file we need to convert into this file because
Okay.
these delimiters we don't want. These are not part of the record. These are just delimiters to separate the fields from one another. So what we have to do is we have to read the file and then we have to use something called unstring. So here I have not taken any file. While discussing file concept, I'll show you this example. I've taken one variable ws input. In ws input, I have taken a picture clause x of 1929 value Madhusmita semicolon 50,000 semicolon a semicolon 2019 0101. Okay. Now here there are four values Madhusmita 50,000 a and 2019 0101. Four values are there. This is the name, employee name. This is the salary. This is employee indicator. This is some date of joining. Now all these fields belong to different fields. Now in between we have this semicolon. Semicolon is not part of the record. It's a delimiter. We need to break this field uh, based on wherever we find any semicolon. So I have written unstring ws input delimited by semicolon into ws name, ws salary, ws indicator, ws date. So wherever it finds a semicolon, it will break it from there, and the first part will go to name, second part will go to salary, third part will go to indicator, fourth part will go to date, and finally I have displayed all of them. This is how. This is the extra line that we have to write. We have to read the file. We have to unstring it based on the delimiter, and the sequence of these variables also should be perfect because first field is name. We should write name first, then salary. Here also salary, indicator, date of date. Here also date. Okay. Understood?
Understood.
So see value of name Mandushmita, value of salary 50,000, value of indicator A, value of date 2019 0101.
Ah,
Got it, no? This is called character handling. If you do this, if you know these 4 5 examples, these are enough.
okay.
Now next is let us discuss about perform statement. So already you know this perform thing. You always use it, in a program. So there are two types of performs. One is called inline, one is outline.
Okay.
Each type has four types. One is normal perform, one is perform multiple times, one is perform until, one is perform varying until. So both the types have these four types. Normal perform. What is normal perform? Inline perform is whenever you write, what is a perform statement first of all? Perform statement is if you have a COBOL program and if you have a set of statements or set of lines, if you want to execute those lines as per your wish multiple times or anywhere in the program whenever it is needed, you can use perform concept. Now there are two types of perform. One is called inline, one is outline. Inline is whenever you write the write these statements within perform and end perform. For example, this is a program identification division, program ID, procedure division. See, within perform and end perform, I have written display IBM mainframe. This is called inline perform. This is the structure of inline perform. This is normal inline perform. This is meaningless, by the way, because even if you don't write this perform in perform, this line will automatically get executed.
Ah,
Even though you
yes.
write perform in perform, this line will get executed. Okay.
Ah,
So perform within perform and perform, I have written display IBM mainframe. So what will happen is whatever you write within perform and perform will get executed multiple times. So this is irrelevant, but there are some more examples which are required, which will have some relevance. We'll see. And between perform and perform, you cannot write any dot period. Okay, it's like if else, if and if. Sorry. So let me first compile this program. See, IBM mainframe. Understood?
Uh,
Now same thing multiple times. So this time it is called perform multiple times. So within perform and in perform, whatever you have, those statements you want to execute multiple times. So I have written perform 5 times. What will happen is all these statements will be executed 5 times. Not it's not like individually 5 times. This set of statements will be executed 5 times. IBM mainframe COBOL, 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 like that. Okay. Now
okay.
see, this is
Mm.
first set, second set, third set, fourth set, fifth set. Got it? Understood, right?
Ah,
So this normal perform, first of all, perform multiple times. These two are not used much in case of inline. This next one, perform until, is used the most in real time. You'll always see. Here I have taken a variable I, picture clause 9 of 1, value 1. Then I have written perform until I greater than 5, display IBM mainframe, add plus 1 to I, and perform stop run. Do you understand this example? See once.
yeah.
What is the meaning of this?
They will perform until I greater than 5. Once reach 5 means it will stop. I equal to 5.
Not once reached 5, once it is greater than 5. So perform
Yeah,
until I greater than 5 means keep on performing this loop as long as I is either less than or equal to 5. As soon as it is greater than 5, stop this loop. The meaning of this is this. Perform until I greater than 5. That is, perform unless and until I becomes greater than 5. Even though I is equal to 5, keep on performing. So first time the initial value of I is 1. So first time the condition will become 1 greater than 5, which is false. It will go inside. It will display IBM mainframe. First display. Okay.
ah,
Then I have to increment the value of I so that this loop is satisfied at some point. If I don't use this add plus 1 to I or add plus 2 to I, this loop will never be satisfied and this program will never be complete. It will go into infinite loop. So for
ah,
the second time it will check, the condition will become 2 greater than 5. Second display will come. Again one will be added to I. Third time it will become 3 greater than 5. Third display will come. 1 will be added to I. Fourth time will be 4 greater than 5. Fourth display will come. 1 will be added to I. Fifth time will be 5 greater than 5. Fifth display will come. Then again 1 will be added. Sixth time it will be 6 greater than 5, which has satisfied this condition. Then finally it will come out of this loop, and then finally it will stop the program, stop running the program. Got it? 5 displays will come.
that.
This is how it will work. See, 5 displays. Extension to this perform multiple times, perform until, there is something called perform varying until. Here, in this perform statement only, everything is handled. You don't need to initialize the value of this variable, and also you don't need to write the incremental statement of the value like add plus 1, add plus 2. Everything is handled in this perform statement. I've taken a variable I, picture clause 9 of 1. Here I've written perform varying I from 1 by 1 until I greater than 5. What is the meaning of this from 1 by 1?
Increment
Hmm?
after each perform I will increase one.
From 1 by 1 means starting from 1 and incrementing by 1. So in the previous example, we took a value here, initial value. Picture clause 9 of 1, value 1. So that was the initial value. And by 1 that we have written here, for instead of that, in the previous example, we wrote add plus 1 to I every time.
Hmm.
But instead of writing the initial value and the add statement, I have written from 1 by 1 in the perform statement only. So in varying until, everything is handled in this perform statement. Perform varying I from 1 by 1 until I greater than 5. That means keep on performing this loop, changing the value of I starting from 1 and changing by incrementing by 1 until it becomes greater than 5. Here also same thing, 5 displays will come.
Okay.
See? So these are called inline perform, where you write these statements in between perform and in perform. There is something called outline perform. Outline perform, you define paragraphs. Here also you have four types. Now in outline perform, this normal perform is used the most. I have written here is perform 100 para stop run. Here I have defined the 100 para and within bracket displayed. I've written this statement display
Oh.
IBM mainframe. Okay. The
Okay.
meaning of this is in outline paragraph, we will always define a paragraph. Now, while defining a paragraph, it has to be defined from position number 8, that is area A, under which I will write all these statements and I have to call this paragraph. So it always depends on where you are calling it from. If you are calling it from here, it will search for this 100 paragraph within this program. You can define it anywhere within the program, it does not matter, but it always matters where you have called it. So perform
Oh.
100 parameters, it will directly go and search in the program. You can define it anywhere in the procedure division. It can be the last line of the program, also first line of the program, procedure division also no problem. But it always depends on where you are calling. It will go to the paragraph, it will execute all the lines, it will come back, then it will go to stop run. This is called outline paragraph. The advantage of this is you can use this paragraph anywhere in the program any number of times. Like
Hmm.
you have defined a paragraph, you can call it hundreds of times, no problem. So when we define any this kind of paragraphs, when we have repetitive statements in our program, okay, we have some statements which we have to execute multiple times. For example, we have to write data in output file. Okay, now this writing is happening at multiple positions of the program. Now in each and every condition this writing is happening. So every time if I write in those conditions, write this, write, move this to this, move this to this, write this, then the program will become very long. What I'll do is in each and every if condition I will just call this paragraph, and in this paragraph I'll define this statement, writing statement. So this is called outline. You can execute this and check. Okay, so this is the most used normal perform.
Oh.
Next is perform
Ah.
multiple times. So perform 100 para 5 times, stop run 100 para this one. So this also is same. It will go to 100 para. It will display these lines 5 times. It will come back. It will stop. Do go to stop run. Understood?
Mhm. Understood.
Next, third one is, see, perform multiple times is not used much. Okay. Next is perform until. Last one will be perform varying until. Same thing. Perform 100 para until I greater than 5. And inside 100 para, you have to write your statements and that increment statement. In normal perform, in inline perform, sorry, what we write is perform until I greater than 5, then these two lines, finally end perform. But here you have to perform this paragraph until this one, and inside the paragraph you have to write this. Ultimately, so this will execute, this will display this line 5 times, I think. Yeah. Starting from 1 greater than 5, so
Oh,
5 times. Next is varying until. Perform 100 para, varying I from 1 by 1 until I greater than 3. 100 para, display IBM mainframe. So it will display 3 times because I greater than 3. So these are all
oh,
simple examples. So in inline perform, perform until is used the most. Varying until is also used, but perform until is used the most. Normal and multiple times are not used much. In outline perform, normal perform is used the most. Multiple
oh.
until and varying until are not used much.
Ah,
Okay.